make 'em pop. Big gun Brian Petrie, giving out the lot. One is
We're
mortal,
back.
you know it won't miss. Gonna take a
We're
shot.
back.
Dog lock, that's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt. Send them homeless, KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done. Slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known. Pick 'em pod from MMA tapes. Yeah, let's get it going.
Woo. What's up with the what's up? Your boy got a haircut. Don't know about it. My family keeps saying flat hair. Usually it's a little poofed up. We got a little shorter. Don't matter. What's up? What's up? 2025. We're here in the title of the video, State of 2020, State of the Union 2025. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, I'm going to run down my stats. 2024, final stats, betting stats, whatever. And then what I want to transition into and what I want for the future for this podcast of 2025. We're always growing. We're always trying to get better here. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. Yeah. And it's been a little bit. Anik and Florian tomorrow. It's going to feel good. Got to take the wheels off. Go do studying tonight, right? But it feels like it's been 2 fucking years, right? 2 years, but it's really only been a couple weeks. Back with the boys tomorrow. My pick'em will be out on Thursday, as always. Get back on the horse. Main event champion. I beat Kenny again, baby. You know what I mean? That's 2 or 3 years in a row. I'm not really sure. Good to keep rolling. Good to keep it rolling into the new year, 2025. 2024 is rough. We'll get to some of that stuff. Not betting-wise, but personal-wise. Life-wise. Real shit-wise. Betting-wise, we're okay. So let's go over the stats while we're here, while we get into the biz. By the way, for the 2-3 weeks off, planning this episode, I got some new software I'm trying out. You've heard this from me a million times. Bought a new microphone. I love the Shure. Was going to go with another one that I've been watching videos on, and it pairs well with my setup here. Decided to go back, but literally right before we start recording, I'm testing the microphone out. And I'm going back to the old sturdy. So lucky I didn't pay a lot of money for the microphone. Got a great deal on. Anyway, trying to evolve, trying to bring some newness and energy and whatnot to the podcast that I felt like last year towards the end of the year, my consistency, we'll get through all that, but my consistency wasn't there. Let's go through the stats, huh? Let's go through the old boy stats. Who's texting me? Yeah. Here we go. All right. So here we go. My slime ball parlay, the one I give out every week. The parlay. I'm a single wager guy myself, but everyone loves a parlay, so I give out the parlay. The slime doggy, the slimy slime, the slime ball parlay went in 11 and 31 last year. That's not great. That's 26%. 26% on the year last year. Not great. In the more of the State of the Union, we are going to address the future of the slime ball parlay. The green hammer. 15 of 26, a little bit better, 36%. Now, if this is your first show with me, the green hammer is a prop bet, right? Typically in the beginning of the year, I was going minus money, a little minus 125, whatever. Point spread at plus 3.5, whatever the fuck that is. I played that a lot. You know, maybe we're going to mix it up a little bit, but the green hammer, I feel like, I added that last year, and I feel like that is going to be something that we're going to try to really stay consistent on. Prop bets is a really kind of a weak area in my game. If I'm being honest with you, I like to be able to pick winners and stuff. How the winning happens is an area I need to get better at. Maybe, I don't know how we get better at that. Like if, I've been watching MMA for a long time and it's something I'm not very good at. So we'll figure that out when we get to it, but definitely need to get better at that. Slime ball parlay. So I want to track this, right? Of how close I was on some of these, right? So I had 21, right? So I had 42 slime ball parlays throughout the year. 42. I gave out 42, and I got 11 right. But there were 2 of 3. All my slime balls are typically 3 legs, unless one gets canceled because of weight cut. The bet's already been placed, and I never replaced it, whatever. But typically they're 2 of 3, or excuse me, they're 3 leggers. 2 or 3, so meaning I missed 1 leg. 21 times that happened last year. 21. About 50% of the time, I was 1 away. Just that 1 away. 21 times that happened last year. Golly. And then 0 for 3, where I went 0 for, where I got none right. That happened once. One time that happened. I went 0 for. That's not, listen, if you're going to lose, you might as well clean sweep, but, went 0 for only one time. And then the 1 for 3 L's, where I just got 1, missed a 2, which still, they're all losses. But I feel like it's important to cover all this. 9 times. 9 times I did that with 1 for 3. But 21, where I was 1 away. That eats me up. That's what keeps me up at night. You know what I mean? Fuck, man. You're that close. You want it. It's there. That sucks. My pick percentage on the year, just picks, not bets. I pick every fight on every card. I tally them, whatever. Pick percentage on the year, 56.38%. Every year I say I want to go for 60. I believe 2 years ago I was at 58%. Last year I think I was around 57. So we took a step back. 56% is what I was picking on the year. Want to go 60, obviously. That's the goal. And I know there's people out there who don't understand gambling, who don't understand picking. 60% of me trying to predict the future. Yeah, people are going to go, oh, that's still a D in schooling or whatever the fuck, whatever. I've had this argument online. That's still a D, but I'm predicting the future. I don't know the answers. Getting 60% on a test in school, you're supposed to know the answers, and those questions have answers. I'm predicting a fight that doesn't have any answers yet. So 60% on predicting the future being my goal, pretty goddamn fucking good. I'm not there yet. 56%. Took a step back this year. Got to get the ball rolling. Final AF balance. My Anakin Florian balance. I beat the great Kenny Florian. My final balance was plus 689.12. Almost $700 on the year. Would have been a little more. I went back and did through some of my bets. I track all those, obviously. There's some room for improvement there for sure. I risk a lot on certain guys that I probably shouldn't have. I mean, Brad Tavares over RoboCop was my worst bet of the year. Not only did I bet it, did I play it, but I played it by knockout. That was by far the worst bet of the year. You can recap that up. My best bet was Patty Pimblett by finish over Bobby Green. I think that was a really clean bet. It wasn't, I think I played finish. I don't think I played submission. Either way, I read that to a T. He finished Bobby Green, who is a vet who's getting older, but isn't really a guy that gets finished. I know Patty's he's a fade spot for a lot of people. A lot of people want to fade him, but that was my best bet of the year, I think. I think I had a couple other ones, but by far worst bet, Brad Tavares over RoboCop. When you get enormous plus money, and it was a huge plus money from the win by knockout, I can't really say it's like the worst bet ever. Oh my God, you're so fucking stupid. Taking a shot, kid. Right? We're taking a shot, but shot failed, bad read by me, good read on the Patty stuff. Let's get to the dogs here. The dogs. 47 dogs I picked right and won money on this year. That's betting. Picking. That's picking the dogs. I got 47 won. I got 47 right out of 129 picked. That is a 36%. So I picked 129 dogs all last year, which that number's down. Years prior, I picked more dogs, and years prior, I've won more dogs. So numbers are down on the dogs. 129 picked, 47 won, 36% on the dog picks. The locks, which I give you every single fucking week, no matter what. Mortal lock, very proud of this number, 75%. 75% on the mortal locks. That is, and I'm not picking the thousands out there, boys. You can check the tape. I'm giving you maybe some chunky numbers from week to week, depending on what the card is. But 75% of the time, when I gave you a mortal lock, I hung that fucking lock on them. That's cashing, babe. That's 75% cashing. I'll take that to the window. I love that. Dog locks, 32%. These are the ones I bet, right? 36% of my picks, 32% of the ones that I bet. Not every dog I pick, I bet, but the dog locks, every dog lock I bet, obviously, I'm at 32% on that. And then the send them homes, I'm at 30%. Is that 30 or 36? My handwriting is terrible. It's either 30 or 36. I want to say 30 on the send them home. Feel like I didn't do great on, again, props are a weak area for me. But all the locks, dog, mortal, send them, I bet. So those are the betting numbers right there. That's all I got. And again, I'm old school. Read it in the fucking notebook, baby. Wrote it in the notebook. By the way, I was very proud of myself for my Christmas gift this year to my guys. If you come on my podcast, at the end of the year, I'm going to take care of you, right? I could send you a bottle of wine. I could take out the dinner if you lived in my city, whatever. But the boys don't, they live all over. You know, we got Timbo in Virginia, we got Christian in CC, or excuse me, we got CC, Christian in Colorado, Triple C, Christian Costello in Colorado. My guy, Evan Lagoria, who came on the podcast twice last year out there in Arizona. So what I did was I love like a notebook. I keep all shit written down. Again, I'm old school. And all those guys are about my same age, except Timbo, he's a little younger than us. And I got a dark green leather notebook. And I wanted it sent to the boys. And I wanted it embroidered. And I learned this. You can't embroider real leather. It's called embossing, right? They emboss it. So went to the oldest bookstore in Cincinnati, down there, Ohio bookstore, downtown Cincinnati. Went to the basement. There's 5 floors of this motherfucker. Went to the basement. Nicest guy in the world was like, those are some really nice notebooks. We can do really good with them. And I got their personalized embossing on them. Little gold embossing. Sent those out to the boys as a thank you. They didn't get on Christmas. They got them like last week. But either way, I love a good notebook. And I didn't get one for myself, which is probably an oversight. I should have got one for myself. But I write everything down. I'm old school. I'm a fucking old dude. Speaking about not writing everything down, I do have my notes where this is what I want to happen in 2024. So I gave you all the recap, percentages on slime, green hammer, all that stuff. Gave you all that. So we're gonna dive into some of the things I want to talk about in the show. We're not gonna keep this too long. We're at about 11 minutes right now. So the most important thing is if you don't involve, you die, right? For the past few years, everyone that watches this has been around for a while knows that your boy's got a tech ghost. I cannot get it right. Again, this computer sitting to the right of me is like $4,000. I have the Apple monitor. I have a MacBook Pro, Apple monitor, which was like $1,500, a Sony camera, Rodecaster, and then like the mic that everyone uses, right? And I got the whole setup right. I got super incredible fast speed internet. I upgraded to, but yet I still run into troubles constantly with stuff, right? In these past couple weeks, I've been trying out new recording software, new things that are out there. I've been using StreamYard, yada, yada. So my goal is to really make the show have some more visual effects, have some more, just a little more pleasing to watch. I want to create more clips. I want to provide sharing on socials, which I'm very bad at doing. But that's like the goal for me. This has nothing to do with you guys. This is just my goal of what I want to see happen to the show is just really add some more professionalism and some looks. I probably said this a million times. It sounds like a broken record, but that is a goal. I'm using new software right now. Hopefully it helps and it's something that I like and it can work without, filing, corrupting all my shit or whatever. I got like 3 fucking hard drives attached to everything just in case you run out of space or whatever the case may be. I got everything covered. So hopefully this all works. But that's the goal, is to just bring a better show, because if you don't evolve, you die. And I want to evolve the products in the show that's ever growing with the Yannick and Florian stuff. And every week I get a new follower that finds me or sees me, and maybe they didn't like me in the beginning, now they like me, whatever the case may be. So so that's the goal, is to make this show visually appealing. Towards the end of the year last year, I felt like maybe it was phoned in a little bit. I would record, edit a little bit of audio. I listen back. I don't listen back as much as I used to listen to every podcast I do. And I would literally make mental notes or even type it in my phone of don't say this word so much. Quit pausing here. You're a little quieter. You're a little louder, whatever. The mic volume can be loud, whatever the case may be. I was very critical. And then I haven't been doing that. And then with this break, I've been driving at my job really far out in the east side of Cincinnati, which is like 45 an hour away, making delivery. Then I got to come back. You know what I mean? It's a lot of driving. So I run on a podcast. So I was like, fuck it, I'll start listening to me again, right? See if I can. And it's just, the volume was just really low. One of the reasons why I got a new microphone, because this microphone is notoriously quiet. The other microphone's much brighter. But I went back to this, so hopefully I can maybe boost the audio. And it just, again, everything I want to improve on. I felt like I was asleep at the wheel a little bit. Not going to be the case in 2025. Hopefully. We'll get to some more of 2025 stuff personally in a minute. Changing up the slime ball rules. So here's the slime ball rules. When I first made the slime ball, I said it's going to be 3 legs no matter what. Sometimes I added props. Sometimes I didn't. Initially, I was like, I'll never go props. My guy Christian's like, sometimes you got to mix in props. I did that. It failed, whatever. On some of the weaker cards, some of the cards that, I'm scrapping and I'm throwing a guy in or a girl in that I just don't really believe in, but I need to make 3 legs, I might do 2 legs, right? My goal is to have some weeks where I'm so confident because I'm going to do so much research and I'm going to be so fucking balls deep into it, I can give you 4. But I'm not going to hold myself to that 3-leg standard. Every once in a while, it's going to be a 2-legger. Every once in a while, it's going to be a 3-legger. Maybe there's going to be 2 props and 1 money line or whatever. Sometimes there's going to be 4 legs, whatever it may be. But again, I used to hold myself to that 3, got to be 3 standard. And I'm sitting here looking at some of these fucking Apex cards going, do I really want to add Parker Porter to this? Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fucking give out some lack. I want to get better. I know this is fun and everything like that. Like, it's gambling. It's supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to take it that seriously. You're supposed to be competitive. You're supposed to be want to get better. That's what I'm doing here. Change up slime ball just a little bit. Still going to give it out every week. I still get 1 week off where I don't give out a slime ball. But it's not always going to be 3. I'm going to try to aim for 3. But again, if they give me shit, I'm going to have to give out shit. That's the thing. Nice little drink there. Green Hammer is going to stay kind of the same. We touched on that earlier. I'm going to try to go for more plus money. When I first started with the Green Hammer, everything's tweaked. Everything, when you create something or when you start something or whatever, everything be tweaked. You don't have to stay so locked into like such a arbitrary rule that you made for yourself. So the Green Hammer was a multi-unit plus money play, right? Or excuse me, multi-unit play. Didn't have to be plus money. A lot of the times it was minus money. I'm not going to hold myself to multi-units, right? I'm going to hold myself to if I really love a prop and it's going to be under minus 300. Or you know what? Let's make a rule right now. I'm going to put it in. It's going to be official. Nothing over minus 200 for props. So the Green Hammer can never be over minus 200. I'm going to try to give you and risk a little more and really get into it and give you a lot of plus money Green Hammers, but I'll never go over 200. I'll never give you like, this guy's going to get submitted minus 500 guarantee or knockout round 1, whatever. I'm not going to do that. 200 is the limit. Never go over 200. That's what I'm saying to you. And this one's going to be a little, I probably should say this to the end. I'm going to say that to the end. I'm going to try to reach out to more MMA cappers to have on the show. There's a lot of guys on Twitter that I really like. They're very funny. I've already reached out to one, and I'm going to have them on the show. I'm going to mix it up. I love Christian. I love Timbo. Evan Longoria is coming back on this year. Christian and Timbo are still going to be a big part of the year. But instead of just always doing the show myself, I'm going to have some guys that have reached out to me on Twitter who I really dig their stuff that they do, maybe their own podcasts or they make just short videos or whatever on Twitter or Instagram, whatever the case might be. I'm going to mix it up. I used to be very stubborn and not really want other people on, but I'm going to have them on. And I have this weird thing where I've never asked John or Kenny to be on. I know John can't pick fights, and I know Kenny and I already pick fights. Maybe I'll have them on just to kind of talk to shit and bullshit and ask questions and have it fight related, but also have like fun. Maybe we'll do that on like a week off or where there's a blank UFC that week and we need to fill some action or whatever and just have a really good conversation with those guys. I've never want to call them that favor, but at this point, couple years now, we're good enough friends. I think they know I'm not trying to take advantage of their fame or advantage of their name to rise my stock or whatever. I'm just their friend, right? But I am going to reach out to more people in this space to have them on the show. Not everybody. Listen, I mean, I'm still picky, right? I would love you to shoot me suggestions on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. If you got a show and I can check you out to see if we would vibe or whatever. Like if you're super uptight and serious, probably not going to work out. But there's a couple I like, and there's only one guy who's not allowed to be suggested. And I think if you've been watching me for a long time, you know who that person is. I know he's very big. I know people really enjoy him. I don't. People are going to be in the comments like, who BB? Spill the beans. Who BP? People who know, and just don't recommend him, okay? If someone recommends him, this is what I'll do, right? Because I don't want to start a war. I don't want to start a fight or anything like that that's childish. My feud with him and my beef with him is probably rooted in immaturity or whatever, and I can probably improve on that, but I'm not ready to improve on that yet. I know it's the new year. I know we're supposed to be resolutions and everything and let things go and blah, blah, blah. And not yet. I'm not ready to give that one up yet. Probably when I hit 40, maybe I'll finally be a fucking adult and let things go. However, if someone DMs me or hits me up or whatever the case may be, and they recommend, you can even hit on the comments on the YouTube, hit who you want me to ask to be on or whatever, reach out to. If he gets mentioned, if someone is oblivious and goes, this guy's great, bring him on, I will name his name and say, yeah, this is the guy that I don't like. And then, I'm just going to try some new things, see if they work, right? I'm going to try some new different things, see if they work. Again, try not to be stale, try not to be the same old, whatever. I want to mix some things up. I want to do some different things. And hopefully it looks good, sounds good, is a good show. Just keep bringing the same thing over and over again. It's just, it's just not what it is. So I'm going to need feedback from my Club 2K. Club 2K shirts available now. Link will be probably somewhere in this video description or whatever the fuck. But I need feedback from my 2K family to see what they like, what they don't like. I'm a thick-skinned guy. If there's something that I do that you don't like, go ahead and comment. There's one guy that commented that he doesn't like the intro music. He said that rap stuff's bad, right? I'm going to strongly disagree with that, right? Didn't offend me that he said that. Strongly disagree because Big Griff is the man, right? I paid $15 for that. Unreal, right? And I'm a hip hop head. I like hip hop music. I like all kinds of music, but I am a hip hop fan, so I do love the intro music. There's a guy said that I try to dance and I look cool in the beginning. Maybe cut out the dancing, right? I don't know. Either whatever it is, I do this show for you guys. I do it for me too because I love doing it, but I do it for you. So in the comments, feedback. I need what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what's a good idea, right? Like trying to improve. So hit me with what you want me to do, right? And then if there's anything that I already do that you're like, bro, cut it with that shit, then that's good feedback for me. Now, this is the one little thing I want to end this on because it gets a little kind of emotional, I guess. And trust me, I'm not doing this for sympathy or for people to hit me up in the comments and go, dude, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm not looking for like a sympathy griff, right? Kind of kept this a little bit under, to me, a little bit, I guess, whatever. I haven't really told many of my friends. Doesn't matter. Anyway, quit building up, Brian. Talk to it. So last year, especially towards the end of the year, say June, July, I started not feeling good because of my ear, but also right after that is some things with my family kind of started going downhill. My grandmother, my stepmom's mother, who would take care of my mom, who would give her rides everywhere, who would really help out in any situation. Great lady. She started to kind of go downhill a little bit. She had Parkinson's. She had a couple other ailments and illnesses too, falling and then slowly developed dementia, unfortunately, and she passed away in November. So that was a big hit to my family and everything like that. I think I maybe brought that up on the show. She was a wonderful person. She'll be missed, right? My stepfather, who I love to death, isn't the strongest man in the world. He's fragile and he's been through a lot, right? He's always there for you. He's the most loyal guy in the world. But when it comes to like mental stability and toughness and strong and really looking for a guiding light, he's not really the guy. But that's not everyone can have every fucking quality that's great to him. Anyway, quickly after that, my mother, who most of you guys know, battled lung cancer, beat lung cancer, was in remission for lung cancer, went 6 months, did immunotherapy, got off it. And she's been getting treated for a wound on her leg. She busted her leg up on her shin like 8 years ago and it never healed. And now it's just like this huge wound. So my wife and I, since my grandmother Nancy, who would take a lot of these appointments, my wife and I had to take my mom to a lot of these appointments for her leg. And it increasingly became obvious that my mom couldn't really walk that much anymore. We kept having to put her in a wheelchair, to wheel her up to the appointment. And at home, my stepfather was working from home. And every 5 minutes, he had to help her. She's a fall risk. She's fallen. The ambulance got brought to their house numerous times. I got called over at like 9 o'clock at night. My wife's working. I had to bring both my kids over there to pick her up. She's 210 pounds, 6 foot woman. She's a big woman. You know what I mean? That's where I get my size from. She's not small. So it's not the easiest thing just to pick her up. Right. And so it was a lot of pressure on everyone to really kind of hands on. And she was very stubborn. She didn't really understand why she needed to get better and why she needed to do certain things. We brought rehab and physical therapy rehab. We bought OT rehab. We bought speech therapists, right? Because many years ago, for people that don't know, my mother had multiple strokes when she had That was back in 2008. She had multiple strokes when she was under anesthesia to get a hernia out. And the left side of her brain was the 2 strokes. That's now basically scar tissue. So your brain is essentially an electrical field. It's constantly firing. Her left side of the brain, you ever see those maps of like the United States and the lights that are on at night, and you look and there's like North Korea and there's like no lights? That's kind of what her left side of her brain looks like. There's not much going on because of the strokes. So she struggles with, and she has aphasia, she struggles with speech, blah, blah, blah. But it's been increasingly getting worse. The walking, she was never a great walker to begin with, but lately it's been, she can't walk to the bathroom. She can't get herself off the toilet. She's falling in the bedroom and almost hitting her head on like a dresser in the pitch black, not knowing how she got there, right? It was a lot of alarming stuff. And my father, or, you know, my stepfather, who is my father, he raised me. I just want to clarify everything for everybody. He's like, we got to do something. She's not right. You know, he's the one taking care of her. I'm over there as much as I can and helping her with her appointments, but he's the one that's trying to balance his job and try to take care of her when it's progressively getting worse, and she's snipping at him and getting mean to him. And, you know, he can't really handle that stuff. And during this whole period, you know, he's going through his mom, and then his mom died. And then now he's got the death of his mom. You know, his dad passed many years ago, and there's a lot going on with him. And I feel terrible, but, you know, she wasn't making anything easier, and things just started getting worse. So one day, 2 weeks ago, her physical therapist went over there and is running her through her PT like she normally does, and everything seemed off, right? And it's hard to kind of communicate with her. She doesn't remember many things. It's hard to get words out. That's the stroke. That's the aphasia. And that's infecting now her movement, which was very odd to the PT guy. And the PT guy said, listen, just take her to the emergency room, get her checked out, right? We're going to get her checked out. So it was like a Sunday night. My stepdad said, hey, the ambulance are going to come and they're going to come get your mom. We're going to the emergency room. So they went to the emergency room on Sunday night a couple weeks ago. This is the Sunday before Christmas. And took her to the emergency room, told them what's going on. And they immediately were like, well, let's scan a CAT scan. Let's just check everything, because if you're not walking right, if your balance is off and whatever, it might not be anything on your legs, it might be in your brain. So they CAT scanned her. They found a mass on her brain, frontal lobe, found 2 actually. So then we start getting nervous. So then they did an MRI, which is obviously more contrasting. And the mass that they found was a 3 or 4.5 inch by 5 inch tumor right here on her frontal lobe, the size of a fist. Maybe not my fist, because I'm a fucking polar bear, but right here on her frontal lobe. That is causing severe issues with her personality, with her movement, with everything. And then right behind it, like on the upper part of her brain, was a tiny little baby speck of a tumor. And so now we're freaked out, because she just beat cancer, lung cancer, and now she's got this. She did a bunch of more tests, yada yada. They determined if they did heavy dose of radiation, it wouldn't kill the tumor because of the size of it. And since it's in the frontal lobe, it's operable. They can operate it, right? So they did surgery. When they do surgery, last Wednesday on New Year's Day, they did surgery. I'm going to attach a picture of my beautiful mom's head right here. They cut open from here all the way to here and took out some of her skull and removed the tumor. They got all of it. They weren't sure if they could get all of it. They got all of it. It was bigger than they thought. Because when I said the inches, they actually told us it was like 3 by 4. When they took it out, measured it, and sent it off to get it, obviously, you know, see what's going on cancer wise. They measured it again. It was bigger. It was like 4 by 5. So really big tumor in her brain. And the other little one, they're going to radiate. It was too close to vessels, and they're not too worried about it, so they sewed her back up. And so she's been in the hospital for over like 2 weeks now. I've been up there like every day to see her, except today because of the snowstorm. We have a bad snowstorm in Cincinnati. I probably won't be able to get up there to see her tomorrow, but it was scary. It was scary, man. I was distracted. You know, I'm trying to be a good dad, trying to be a good father. I got a lot going on with that, and then trying to focus, you know, my energy on this and bringing a good show. And a lot of that stuff was dragging me down last year towards the end of the year as well, which is, I felt like some of my shows were phoned in. And it's just a lot to deal with, man. It really is. You know, you're trying to, you know, be there for your parents and be a good son and be a good whatever you need to be. And hopefully I was. And, you know, there's nothing I can do. I'm not a fucking surgeon. But, yeah, surgery went good. They removed the whole tumor. She's going to get radiation. Right now, she's still in the hospital. Tomorrow, I believe, she's going to get moved to a rehab floor. So all day, every day for a couple days, a week, whatever it takes She's going to do some rehab to get her walking again and get her up and learn everything because, listen, she's never going to run a marathon, right? We're not worried about that. She doesn't have to work. She's going to have to be able to take care of herself, get off the toilet, get out of bed, wash herself, whatever. That's what they're going to work on. Everything else is, we can handle that. She hasn't been driving since 2008 anyway. But anyway, so that's been weighing on me a little bit. That was kind of a gut punch for these past 2 weeks. And my Christmas, my kids are amazing. They got everything they wanted. But that was a little sour Christmas for your boy there because I love my mother. My mother is the strongest person I've ever met my entire fucking life after everything she's been through. Complete hero of mine. And even through it all, just had because even though she gives my stepdad shit and constantly fights with him, she's never done that to me. And she's just still the sweetest woman in the entire world. And if anybody who's met my mom would tell you the exact same thing. She's just a sweet. No one has anything bad to say about my mom because that's how incredible she is. And her going through this is just shot to the heart. But happy to say that the tumor is removed and hopefully we can get her home within the next week or so, healthy and moving and whatnot. So that's it. I want to end on that. I don't want to go too heavy again. I'm not sympathy grifting. You know what I mean? I don't need all the comments or whatever. Listen, you guys are family. I want to share that with you. I don't hide anything from you. Obviously, I was going to bring it up on the podcast when I talked about it. I didn't want to send a tweet or whatever the fuck. It's better to talk about it like this. Spoken word's better than just a few clicks. Anyway, pick 'em this Thursday. Anakin Florian tomorrow. That's it. That's the show, baby. Happy 2025, baby. Big year. What is it? New year, new me? Yeah.